enemies together, depending on what you want to do. So it's pretty cool.
Did you mention pirates?
And pirates, lots of pirates. Evan likes pirates.
I do. No, it's been great having you guys in the alpha, which we actually have a lot of development going on right now. We have all these papers, all this information to share with you guys today. You've probably seen a couple bits of information on the forums as well, obviously. But for those who actually weren't around for the last live stream, we did want to kind of just refresh one thing and then we'll go into the meat of it. But as you may be aware, we did have Victoria and Amanda visit Korea and talk to XL Games about a number of important topics.
We did.
Including patch 1.2, I believe.
Including patch 1.2.
Yep.
And so the folks who haven't already heard, we are going to be going live with patch 1.2 as our launch build for Archeage in the West. And coming next week will be 1.2 to alpha. So that's going to be a really long downtime because it's a really big migration. But we are not wiping. So unless there are some major issues, you will have your characters and everything when you go up.
Yep.
However, if you are on alpha, the servers will be up and down for over 12 hours. So if you have short-term farm stuff on your farm, make sure your taxes are paid up, and make sure that if you've got animals that they're fed and they can last for 12 hours without you paying attention to them.
I didn't even think to warn them about that. It's a really good thing. Yeah.
Because the servers will be up and down, so we'll actually...
Winter is coming. Collect your crops now. No.
Yeah, they won't actually be offline for all 12 hours.
So, and then we actually have the date available?
We've got a lot of folks talking about when is beta. And we did mention last week that we are going to have to move beta back a little bit to accommodate the translations for 1.2. And so we're not moving it back too far. Once we get 1.2 on alpha, we are waiting on one more build from XL that includes the localization and the translations that we are doing so that we can have better English. So sorry for you guys on alpha. You will have first round of English. Beta gets second round of English.
You're alpha testers, come on.
Yeah. And so once that we get that, you guys will be, I think we're going to take less than a week is the current plan to turn that around and get that live. And so the hope is to have beta in July. We are aiming for mid to late July. Mm-hmm. Once we have more details, we will be letting you know the exact dates.
We told you it wouldn't be long.
I can't wait till we can announce those.
Oh my gosh, seriously. And then the other actually bit of information is also about our second alpha server as well.
Oh yeah, so we're bringing up the Omega server. So traditionally at Tryon, we have alpha and Omega. And so...
Apparently that's a thing.
I
just learned that because I'm still new here. This is month 4. And so I was told, no, we just call all the second alpha servers Omega. I'm like,
it's always Omega.
Okay. I don't want to harsh the vibe.
Well, we got the beginning and the end of the Greek alphabet. That's where
Alpha
and Omega comes from.
I get it.
So it sort of wraps everything into those. So we are bringing the Omega server up next week with the 1.2 patch. So you guys will be seeing that as well. We are not doing character transfers. The character transfer tool is still in development. So there's a little bit of difference between the way that we have things set up and the way that XL Games has things set up in Korea. So we've got to adapt the tools that they use in Korea for us over here. And so that development is going on, so we can't do character transfers right now.
Not yet.
But if you have access to alpha, you have access to both servers. So you are welcome to start up a new character, maybe try out the other faction, or maybe try to become a pirate and make Evan happy. We'll have more pirates.
A little bit.
On the Omega server once that comes up.
Yeah. And then actually talking about alpha, we have a little bit of an announcement to make in terms of us cleaning up the server a little bit.
I've been talking a lot.
All right, sure. I'm very glad to actually talk about this one. I keep looking at the wrong camera.
Yeah, we're looking at that
They
camera.
moved our camera on me, and I'm like trying to get used to going. Anyway, so anyone who's been in alpha has noticed that our chat has been busier than usual and not for the right reasons. We have been really active and proactive, actually, in taking care of this to the tune of 16,000 fraudulent accounts banned since the start of alpha. We are really taking it to these guys. We want the chats just as clean as you guys do. We don't like having it gumming up the works. We want you guys to be able to test in a clean environment. And the other good news is that we will have only better tools with future builds. So we're only going to get better at it. But 16,000, it's a lot.
So I also want to
yeah.
point out, as folks are talking about the bots,
Oh, yeah.
we are also working on a number of tools. Right now we have human beings looking and paying attention to what's going on, so we're catching a bunch of bots that way. We are also going to be implementing over, I think it's just the next week or two, not too long, we are going to be implementing some additional tools that will help us identify those bots. And don't worry, we are making sure that we are not going to catch anyone who is phishing or crafting legitimately.
Right.
We're going to make sure you guys are okay. And but it'll catch all the rest of the bots, and they will be on a list to be reviewed, and we will ban inappropriate behavior. And bots are inappropriate.
The other thing to note is that now we were talking about fraudulent accounts there, but also we've had some folks say that they actually have seen their accounts been compromised. We are taking that very, very seriously. So if you believe your account's been compromised, just contact our support team. They're already ready with the next steps. And essentially what we're seeing is just some folks who may have had their passwords shared potentially from website to our Try on Worlds account. And
It's flat out. So just so you guys understand, when we get these reports, we dig into exactly what's going on and try to understand what's happening, how are folks getting in. We want to make sure that everything is still safe. And what we're seeing is that folks are getting in because they have your account and your password from somewhere else. Now, one of the challenges is, of course, your account ID is your email, so that does make that one piece of information easy. But I highly recommend that you use a separate password for Tryon, and if your email provider will allow it, I call it the Gmail hack, but I know other email providers also will allow it. And what you do is you change your name so that it's like whatever your normal email is, plus some other word. Don't use Archeage, use something else. At Gmail or at Hotmail or at whatever it is you have. That can also help because that means that the combination for your Tryon account is unique. And if somebody else has your password because they hacked into some forum software or a fan site or a random, who knows where you have to log in, because you pretty much have to log in to almost every website these days. A lot of those folks are not particularly or incredibly secure. So just make sure and use a separate, certainly a separate password for everything. You can use the Rift Authenticator on your Tryon accounts. So it actually is a Tryon Authenticator. We just, we need to rebrand it.
yeah, actually.
Yeah, we need to put new pretty pictures on it. But yes, please, someone is saying, please mention the Rift Authenticator.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The Rift Authenticator will work on every Tryon game. So if you have a Windows Phone, an Android, or an iPhone, please get that and use it. Please make sure to use a separate password for your own Tryon account, for your personal Tryon account. And if you have multiple game company accounts, I highly recommend having a separate password for each one.
Fashbinder, I totally get that reference. That was a nice.
I missed it. I was
It's an
busy talking.
XKCD reference actually.
lovely.
Yeah, and absolutely true. The good long passwords, good and complex. One other thing to note, and I'm seeing a lot of people asking, of course, about AFK timers and what's going to count as actually us cleaning up the servers or not. I actually think we first want to get into talking about the big thing we announced this week, which is the patron program.
Yay!
And then we can get into the other stuff.
Super glad to finally be able to bring you guys details about this. This was one of the things that we talked to Excel about to make sure we had everything right, and we get that set up. So the one of the cool things you get is if you are a patron, you get bonus regen for labor. You'll get 10 labor every 5 minutes when you're online, and 5 labor every 5 minutes when you're offline. And I did want to bring up something really quickly here. We have seen your feedback on the forums. Fear not.
How could we not?
How could we not? There's a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate the feedback. That is awesome, guys. I think we are talking to Excel about it. It's not an I think. We are talking to Excel about it. And understanding the reasoning for the specific differences. As folks have pointed out already, so free players do not get offline regeneration. And that is primarily because in the West, anyone can create a free account. And you can create thousands and thousands and thousands of free accounts.
Please don't.
So can the bot farmers. So there needs to be a way to limit those accounts a little bit. And so because you can only run Archeage on one computer, it sort of stops you from having to being able to generate an almost infinite amount of labor. And an infinite amount of labor actually breaks the game at higher levels because it gives you access to a lot of resources that otherwise you couldn't get. So that's why the free players have no offline regen. We are looking into patron players and seeing what makes a lot of sense for online versus offline and how to balance that out. I don't have an answer for you guys. We have heard your feedback, and we are definitely looking at what the different options are for us.
And again, this obviously will be a topic that this is not the last time we're talking about it. Not at all. This is why we test. I love saying that every live stream because it's really true. We put this out in the world. We gather your feedback. We talk with XL Games, and we decide, what's actually going to work for our region, for our players. And this is definitely open to feedback.
Oh yeah, and their localization design team they're a fantastic group of folks. And they're really, really good about talking to us and understanding what we're talking about and giving us feedback. Because sometimes there's things we don't think about that, I can't give you details because I don't want to give you details, but when we were going through and talking about the different items that are going to be on the store and how much all those things are going to be priced at, that there were a couple of items that we priced too low and some others that we priced too high. And they were able to tell us, hey, this item, that item is used like 10 times more than you think it's actually used. So your pricing is wrong. And show us where it was used and give us information on that. And so we were able to adjust the pricing to a point that made a lot more sense. So they're a fantastic group of folks. Quick note on the store. The store will be in alpha before beta. I don't have an exact timing on that. It may or may not be there when we launch with 1.2, but it will certainly be there before beta. So you guys can take a look at it. And just a quick reminder, everybody on everybody who has purchased an RKM Founders Pack will get your credits. Anybody who has purchased any of our Founders Packs will also get their credits in beta. And anyone who gets into beta because they're lucky or they win a beta key will also get some credits. You'll just get less than the other folks.
We want you guys to test it out, be able to see what it's like. Also for us to be able to make sure that the system's working properly.
Yep.
So. And
those credits are only good for beta. For launch, any of the founders will get all of their credits again in live.
Yep. So one other thing to note also, we had a small little adjustment to one of the program details actually, which was that we mentioned a 10% discount on marketplace purchases, and just due to some timing, that'll be actually taking place a little bit after launch.
Yep.
So just a small little note there.
One of the other cool things about the patron is that patrons will have the ability to place land and pay taxes at launch. Just a quick note, even though there are items on the store that will allow you to pay taxes, both on the loyalty store as well as on the standard MTX store, if you are not a patron at launch, then you won't be able to pay those taxes. So you need to be a patron, but you can be a patron in a number of different ways.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to actually get into a little bit. I'm sort of skipping ahead a little bit.
You're fine. Go right ahead.
I'm looking at the list of the order of stuff here.
More like guidelines.
Yeah, they're more like guidelines. So we're going to have an item called Apex. And Apex is very similar to Rift's Rex, if you're familiar with Rift. And what it is, it's an item that someone can buy, anyone can buy, with real money from the Try-On store. And then you can trade or auction that item in-game. So if you want to trade it maybe for someone to come and help defend your territory, or escort you somewhere because they're the people with the big boat, and you've got a pile of trade packs and you want to make sure you actually get there, you can use Apex to trade between individuals, or you can put Apex on the auction house and sell it for gold.
I'm very, very glad that we got confirmation that the trading is possible as well. Because when we were first coming up with this, the notion, and when I had seen what had been done with Rift previously with Rex, I was like, no, I want to be able to just on the fly, like I need to get past this strait where there's these, I know there's these guys that they're gonna gank me, but here if I give you this, can I get me through? Versus having to go back to an auction house. So being able to trade on the fly, I'm really eager to see how the emergent economy is going to work with that. Should be a lot of fun.
Somebody asked really quickly if Apex is like Cred. It's similar. The main difference is that it will give you credits instead of giving you subscription time. So you can use those credits for anything that you want. If you want to buy patron time with it, you can do that. And if you want to just buy something else that's on the store, a design for something or a new look for your glider, you can do that on with these credits as well. So it's completely up to you how you use them.
Yep. Seeing some good questions here about Apex being giftable. Not currently, no, but then again, you could always just trade it to the person you want to give it to, I suppose.
We are actually working on ways to be gifting items. No promises. So it is definitely something that we want to do.
We also want to get the game out first. So there's that too. And then, let's see, you actually already mentioned the fact that the credits can be used for anything, so even though they're intended to be used for patron,
you can
want to use
them
on
for
a mount, on whatever else is in the store.
Yep.
So, one thing to note about the patron program as well is, of course, the loyalty store.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, which I'm excited.
So, which is very, very cool, and we're actually going to show that off in a little bit. Not the actual store, but the items that are in the store. And you guys will see that very shortly, which will be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's some really cute items.
Yeah.
The loyalty store for folks is primarily, there's a couple of items that are really good. We've got some lock boxes on there if you want to try your luck and get a very cool donkey or some cool cars. And but you can also use that to buy the taxes that you need. So it's up to you how you want to spend the loyalty tokens. You can just buy lock boxes and try for Carrot, which you will see Carrot Dash later today. Or you can use those credits, or excuse me, the loyalty tokens to go ahead and buy your taxes for your house. So you don't have to spend labor. And next week, actually, we're going to go a lot more into a lot of the differences with 1.2, and we'll be talking a lot about the changes to labor and crafting and how you own houses and all of that. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. I do want to just two questions that I'm seeing come up right now. Manuel, there is no difference between the Alpha and Omega servers. They're both in North America. They're actually in the...
They're in the same data center.
There you go. Same data center, and it's just that it's a new area for people to go and invade and grow. And then one other note before I completely forget about it. I saw a good question from Sprinkles about if we're going to see healers getting experience from PvP. The answer is yes. That is something which we definitely saw a lot of feedback on and will be changing in future builds. I know they're a little bit off topic, but still things I wanted to touch on.
And very quickly, folks were asking, is patron per character or per account? It
Good
is
question.
per account.
Good question.
So you can have your standard 2 characters. You will be able to purchase additional character slots if you wish, up to 4 per server. And you have that. So you have that on all of your characters on your account. So if you want 2 alts and you both want houses for both of them, you can do that.
Cool. One other quick one that came up is also ping-dependent skills, which are getting fixed in the future builds.
They're getting changed.
They're getting changed. So those are all good topics that I think we've touched on before. But let's see. What else do we have? I'm really itching to show the loyalty store, but I know that one other topic which we should broach is, of course, AFK. And talking about the difference between... well, actually, let's back it up for folks who aren't already familiar. Essentially, we talked about in the announcement this week that we'll actually be adding an AFK kick timer, and this kick timer will be, it'll be intelligent. It'll be able to tell between someone who's actually playing the game or using one of the intended systems, which just require you to not move, like say fishing and stuff like that.
Well, so we are still actually finalizing the AFK timer. So it's really important to us that folks who are fishing or crafting, doing things legitimately, have the opportunity to do that. Now, that is going to take some tuning. So it may not be there right at the beginning, so please bear with us, and please give us your feedback as that comes in, so that we can go ahead and make the changes.
Victoria said a lot better than I did. But yeah, again, we're seeing the feedback. We're seeing the folks, concerned about what this implies to the game. Even just as a sort of granular example, we got folks asking like, "Wait a second, does this mean that prison time actually now is real prison time?" Yes, it does.
Prison time.
Now, again, I know we got people saying like, "Wait a second, that's a really long time to be in prison," and are you guys going to adjust the sentences? And the answer is we're going to continue to see how it plays out in beta when we have the new build and we have the the timer in, and we'll also, of course, be listening to your feedback and eager to see what your actual gameplay experience is like. I understand that right now it's a lot of reaction, a lot of speculation. That's great. we want to see what actually the gameplay proves. And again, recall that you can escape the prison, you can still do trading when you're outside, even you have the debuff. So it's not like you're stuck in there per se.
You can play soccer in there, although I hear not very many people do.
Which is surprising you.
I'm a goody two shoes. I've never been actually even on trial.
with the World Cup on, I thought there'd be, we would hear about like some sort of league going or
No.
Oh well.
Oh well.
But anyway, just definitely wanted to touch on that since I saw a lot of questions going by about it.
I just want to address some quick questions
Please.
as I saw going by.
Please do.
Someone asked if you can buy Patron in-game, and so that is the point of Apex.
Yeah.
You can spend your gold that you have earned, or just trade, I won't say trade services, but trade in-game services, please, in-game services, for Apex. And if you, and then you can use the credits from those Apex to buy time, Patron time. Also, you cannot buy Apex for credits. You have to spend real money to buy Apex. We don't want a cycle where people are buying Apex to get credits and then they use that to buy more Apex. That sort of doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Cooperl's actually correcting me. There was a soccer match last week, and
okay.
I completely missed it. I apologize. I would have loved to have seen that. I'll have to watch for more of that going on. That's kind of fantastic. Cool. Well, should we show them some cool little things, or did we have... I know I saw one or two good questions go by, and I'm going to remember them in a bit, but in the interim...
So I don't want to mention something. Somebody mentioned that my voice is a little weird. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold, so my voice is really being weird today.
This fracking week,
I apologize if I'm not actually projecting enough.
Ilwing, I apologize. I did say soccer, and it should be said as football.
It is football.
Sorry. And then, again, for those who still have questions about Apex, I saw one or two slide on by. Just, if you're familiar with Plex and Eve, bam, you got it right there. Or, again, Rex and Rift, same deal.
Yeah.
Cool.
That should be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I just looked at the time.
Yeah, we're answering all these good questions, but I definitely want to show off the shiny things that we just got.
All right, let's go ahead and switch over to the game then.
Okay. What am I going to open with?
If I can find it.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm still figuring out how to use this stuff.
Game of two cams? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right one. All right, cool.
There we are. All right.
It's like only one cam, not two.
Yeah. So here we have Scapes in a lovely outfit, picked by none other than Victoria over here.
That is actually the leather outfit that you get if you are adventuring in Harania.
Ah, okay.
Or at least as a Harani.
All right. So you get a whole slew of different things. In fact, we have a whole list of...
Yes, I have a cheat sheet over here.
We do have a cheat sheet, yeah. So essentially, as you are a member of the Patron program, each daily login, you're going to get 5 loyalty tokens. Those loyalty tokens... Hello, there
Hi.
you are. Showing off the cape, nice. Oh yeah, we also have the founder's stuff to show, too.
Yeah.
So that's good. But basically, these tokens will accrue, and you'll be able to spend them on the loyalty store, which is exclusive to patrons. And
Yeah, they are kind of MC Hammer fans.
a little bit, yeah.
I also wanted to point out quickly, you'll
go
notice that some of the icons here are blank,
Yes.
and they're just black boxes. And that is because this is the alpha build, and so these items are actually being created specifically for us, and so the items don't have icons yet.
Yep. Yeah, welcome to our QA server.
This is our QA server. So sorry guys on alpha, we're not there, you can't find us. Next week we will be.
I didn't even think about that, yeah. I was hiding my map instinctively. But yeah, essentially you're going to have a selection of both cosmetic and slightly more functional things on the loyalty store. Do you want to run through this list?
So we have a couple of chests.
I'll try to find them as I...
And I think we're going to keep the chest for last. We can
okay.
actually open some of those chests later.
All right.
But there's some very cute things in those
Put
chests.
them over here.
So we have also the loyalty certificate, the tax certificates.
There they are.
Which are right over there. Mm-hmm. And the tax certificates that you buy on the loyalty store are character bound. You can't trade them away. There is a version that you buy for real money that is tradable. And you can also get tax certificates by spending labor. And the ones that you use labor for are also bound. So you can get it as a free player or as a non-free player. You can get the tax certificates, but you have to buy them off of the marketplace if you want to trade them.
Correct. But yeah, that's
cool.
definitely what I'm going to be running to get, I think, first, so I don't have to put all my gold towards that. But We also have some less gameplay, but still perfectly adorable things.
Well, we have the pet biscuits, which are very cool as well.
They are
There's
cool,
also,
yeah.
There are these over here.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And they're called Companion Crust currently, but name is not guaranteed to stay that way, although it looks that way for the moment. And so what these are items that you can purchase to go ahead and level up your pet. And I'm not sure how else you can get them. I believe there's another in-game way to get them, but you can certainly get them as a patron. So you don't have to run in circles. No. That'll probably get you AFK kicked at this point.
Seriously. Let's see. But
there's also the UCC items. Oh, you want to show the cute stuff, right?
I really do want to show the cute
right,
stuff. I'm
show
sorry.
the cute stuff.
So I'm going to show off a combination of things. We have, of course, these little pets here, which you've probably noticed here in the inventory. You remember those adorable little? Oh, I'm hiding it for a second. You remember those adorable little baby mounts that you grew up from, a calf or whatever the hell a tiny leomorph is, and then they grew up and got big, and you could ride them, but they weren't cute and adorable. Well, they're back.
See, I have the calf out.
Oh, you got the calf,
the
yeah.
elk out, because the elk is so cute.
So these little guys, they don't do any combat or anything, but they definitely are adorable, and you can scare the monsters away with their adorableness? I don't know.
They're adorable.
They are definitely adorable. So here we got the Leomorph. Facing the wrong way, Leomorph.
He does that.
There you go. Yep. Aw, freaking adorable. And then finally, of course, the cats. I think everyone's favorite, although I might have just angered everyone who doesn't have the cat now. But yeah, so they just follow you around, kind of adorable, very cute, fit in a purse. No, they don't. And the other things to point out, of course, are the special custom...
The weapon, the musical instruments.
Musical instruments, correct. And I'm going to see if I can get them to... There they are. So we have, let's see, a shamisen, we've got recorders, we've got, that's just normal loot. Some pretty cool loots, some really, really cool loots. There we go. And banjo over here. This, I believe, is the clarinet.
Here you go.
We got some more recorders, I think, of piccolo over here. And then my personal favorite, of course, the alto sax.
Which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have to say.
That's kind of nuts. So these are all available in the loyalty store.
Yep. Also, I would just want to answer a couple of quick questions that I saw running through. You cannot have one of these pets out as well as your mount or your combat pet, so it is sort of a running around enjoying the world sort of thing.
That's true.
Yes, and this is all stuff that's on the loyalty store.
Then let's see. We also have. It's a little more difficult to show them, but these are the cubes and columns that can also be customized.
Yes.
And
the t-shirts, the long sleeve and the short sleeve t-shirts
oh,
are
yeah.
also in
Yeah,
there.
I can definitely show those off real quick. If the render comes in, anytime now.
Yeah, black shirt. There you go.
There we go. So you can see it both in that's the long form, and then I think short form is also going to show black and form. Nope, there, hey, it popped much faster that time. So these are the ones with customizable logos you can put on. Let's see. I did also want to see if I can find anything.
We also have some potions as well that are on the store. There is a... I'm sort of looking like here, those are my notes, and then I'm looking at, what I've got on the store.
Oh, we also have the titles are in for
And
Founders.
the titles are in for Founders.
So you can actually see these down here. I'm pointing as they can see me pointing at the
Yeah,
screen.
they can't see your screen.
Well,
Well, I guess
but they can see Trailblazer, they can see
Trailblazer.
Traveler, and then I've already got Founder equipped. And then I know that there's one other thing I want to look for. Where did I put the glider? Is it on my back?
The glider's the
Glider is on my
glider.
back, yeah.
Okay.
So let's see if hopefully it'll render this time.
Are you on the which one? Are you
It's
on?
not rendering. All right. So we had some issues rendering this last time, and see if it pops in. But if it doesn't, I'll show you off a different glider instead. Unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to come in. Let me see if I can pull it onto the back. Just a moment, folks.
As we said, this is alpha, so there is some stuff here that is a little bit not quite there yet.
So it looks like unfortunately, it's not rendering, but there
It's
is
there.
your glass phoenix. That's where we had it. But
We'll figure out what's going on and show it off to you guys later.
So in the interim, though, I'll show you a different glider.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. This one, some folks who have been studiously following the Korean builds may have noticed. This, of course, is the Kraken glider in all of its amazing glory.
It's changed.
A little bit, yeah. It's a little bigger than I remember it.
Yes.
Wasn't it blue and a little more muted?
It was blue,
conservative,
it
really.
had 4 wings, it was much more muted, it did not have a tail.
I like the tail.
Yeah, the tail's kind of cool.
It's kind of taking up the entire screen. Little crazy. So we definitely want to show that off since that's now in this build. And naturally, we're going to get more and more cool things as we discuss 1.2. We're going to have the patch notes ready for you in advance of it going live on that server. Oh, my cub is following me. Yeah. I forgot he was out. He's like, why are you flying? Wait, if I fly across the water, he's just going to like swim or try to swim.
He's going to try to
narrows.
swim. He may not completely succeed, but he is going to try.
Homeward bound, Archeage flavor. All right, and then let's see, what else do we have to show off?
So, and then we have the stuff that's in the actual lockboxes.
Yeah.
And I know a number of folks have asked what are in the chests, so we can go ahead and open a couple of the merchant's chests. Make sure you have something that shows loot. We're on QA. You're safe to show all. There's no crazy chat that we have to worry about. Trial chat gets a little iffy sometimes.
A little iffy, yeah. I love trial chat. I won't even lie.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that was the other item that was on the patron store that I totally forgot about.
Oh, please.
And so it's a potion called the Nui's Favor. And what it does is it actually protects you from honor point loss. So if you are in a war and you want to make sure that you don't actually lose honor whenever you die, you can consume this potion. It lasts through death. And so it will protect you for pretty much the duration of the war. So that will help you actually gain honor points. Of course, if you're awesome and you just kill everybody, then it doesn't really matter because you're gaining a lot of honor points because you're killing everybody, which would be pretty sweet.
To clarify just quickly, since I realized I could have made that not sound quite right, the glider which I'm showing off on my back right now is not available through the store. That is available from killing the Kraken, which I understand a couple of guilds have already done. Congratulations.
Yes.
Of course, the ones that they have, if they actually have gotten it to drop, do not look the same. They are using the original blue style. Which is a little bit less flamboyant, I think the word is.
Flamboyant's a good word for it.
So we're opening up these troves over here, and I noticed we had a tonic pop out. I'm going to open up some more. Some Gilda Stars.
And just a reminder for folks, if you have purchased the Archeage pack, you're going to get, I believe it's 6 of these troves, but you're only going to get 6 per account. Yeah. So you won't get one on every character.
Ooh. That's a good one before it scrolls up too far.
The tax certificate only pays taxes for the specific piece of property that you are paying taxes for. You can use it on every piece of property, but you have to use different ones on different pieces of property.
So I was opening merchant chests there. The difference between them and the explorer's chest?
So the difference is what's in them. The merchant chests are more oriented to folks who want to do more farming and crafting, while the adventurous trove is more oriented to folks who want to do more adventuring. For instance, the Adventurer's Trove also contains some of the pet biscuits, the companion crests we showed you earlier. It contains a potion that helps boost your honor gain. I can remember this. It has a potion that helps reduce your death penalty, so that when you die, if you're like me and you tend to die a lot, that will be very, very helpful. They also contain different Archeage crystals. So the Archeage crystals are important for both crafters and adventurers because that's what you use to actually make your weapons and your armors and your jewelry to make your gear better. And it's in fairly high supply or fairly high demand, and not quite as high supply right now on Alpha. And so we're going to be adding this to the lockboxes to enable them. Enable people to get them, so you can actually have that for more often. There's also another glider and a car in the Adventurer's chest.
There is indeed. I love how people have been very closely following what is in this inventory, because actually they pointed out one of the things that I neglected to show off. This, for those who have good memories, is the Desert Assassin plate that comes with the Founder's Kit. Sorry, Founder's Pack, not kit. We'll take a second to render because I was bad and did not pre-render.
We're also on QA, which is not a full-size server.
So this may look a little familiar. Very lovely.
Oh, I've lost where you are.
Oh, I'm around. But yeah, I guess we can show off some of the other things that are available in these
let's
crates.
start
Do we
with
want
the
to open these chests, though? See what's in them? Or I guess you already
We can,
detailed
right?
them.
I sort of just went through the
You
list
did just
of
go
it.
through them, it's true.
Yep.
So we got the Archeage crystals.
Pull out
And
the Timber Coop.
Timber Coop coming right up.
That should be the only car you have.
I think I also have the Comet Speedster.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And if I remember correctly, this is actually a new animation. That looking on the scroll, unless I'm way off. But
It's been a while. So the Timber Coop, just to remind folks, it also has a trunk that you can put two labor packs in. And you and your buddy who's in the passenger seat can also be wearing labor packs. These cars go pretty darn fast, assuming you don't actually run into something on the way.
I was going to say that's not how we were going to present this at all. It was going to be a brand new car, but we decided to go somewhere. All right, we're going a different way with it. It's okay. But yeah, essentially this is available from the chests, rather.
Right.
Sorry, trove.
These are also incredibly rare in those chests, so don't be surprised if you don't get one. But we wanted to make sure that they were available. There is still, what is the name of the, no, I can't remember the third car. There is a third car that is not going to be available in the lockboxes, and the only way you can get that is by crafting it.
And then we also have another little guy that's available as well.
We do!
Can I show him off?
I was trying to find where you were so I could run past you, but now I've lost you.
You're somewhere, I'm not...
Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'll just show it anyway.
You can just pull them out.
So, if you notice, my little cub just ran off because I'm going to be summoning my mount here. This is Carrot Dash. This is an adorable little donkey who actually moves very, very rapidly. And I think my personal favorite, not only is the size adorable and the speed adorable, the fact that it's actually a darker environment here. In one of the brighter environments, you can actually see that he's kind of almost glowing
almost
orange.
glows
He's kind of
orange.
neon. But my personal favorite, and I hope that the audio is going to pick this up, is, of course, the La Mancha's Call here.
Oh, wait, hang on, let me...
Oh, okay.
Which one's the game? Now I'm like, okay, which one's the game?
There you go.
Okay.
All right, here we are.
I love that.
Kind of great, right?
That's kind of cute.
Don't run into the wall. Don't run into the wall. Stop.
Not quite.
So,
So Carrot Dash has the same abilities as the normal donkey does. He is a little bit faster than a standard donkey, nowhere near as fast as a car.
no.
So still, if you want to get labor packs from point A to point B as fast as possible on land, the car is the way to go.
Absolutely. Let's see. Do I have anything else to show off from here? I already show off the
We can show off
costume.
the other car,
Oh, sure,
the
yeah.
Comet Speedster.
I think I've actually had my Comet Speedster stolen from me in Marianople because I left it parked. You know, I was going to visit the courtroom. I was visiting people who were on trial, and I was going to adjudicate for them. I was going to be their lawyer, and left my Speedster parked outside, and I successfully actually pled their innocence, rather, and I walked back inside, and the Speedster's going out of the city, and I'm running after it, and it's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
Yeah,
Oh, and then someone wants to see the Goblin Glider when you've got that one.
I think we can do that. I think we've
pull out
got
the
it.
Goblin Glider.
Where'd
Should be
I
in there.
put it?
It's there.
Thank you. Alrighty, and then away we go. Again, it'll take a little second to load. That is
do
what it
like
looks
that
like.
glider trim,
I like the adjustments when you're changing direction as well. Very cool.
That is definitely one of the cooler gliders.
And of course, this just makes me think of we got a little video that we're cooking up for you guys, which actually has a really cool glider shot in it as well. Little tease what's to come, but looking forward to sharing that as well. Cool.
Cool. A couple of quick questions. Yes,
please.
you can steal people's cars, just like you can steal their boats. It's fun and
Absolutely.
exciting.
Yeah.
And cars are really, really fast, so you can move them far away pretty quickly.
Yeah. You can actually steal someone's car and then run them over with it because the
Yes.
collision will work, and you'll actually either push them out of the way or sometimes you can catch them on the hood of the car. So I've summoned the car in the middle of Marianople, knowing it's going to get stolen full well, only to get run over by it and end up in the passenger seat. I'm like, oh well, this is okay. I'm just going to take a little snooze and drive wherever you want. Guy crashes into a wall. I'm never lending my car to you again. So could be a lot of fun. These.
Yep. Folks are asking about what exactly is going to be on the store.
Yeah.
So we are working with Excel and finalizing that. We've got a few items that we're actually not going to have on the store up front, including the labor potion, because we are going to be making adjustments to it from what we originally have to make it less exploitable. And so folks had talked about the labor potion, and there will be now a minimum level on the labor potion, and that should help that'll definitely stop folks from just creating another account or another character and being able to use a labor potion to gain labor on their account.
I'm gonna check for that one person who asked if the Glass Phoenix is rendering. Unfortunately, if it were, I'd be seeing it on the back right now. So, looks like it isn't quite yet. Sorry, folks. We'll definitely show this off in a future live stream.
Oh, yeah.
Again, if you haven't seen it yet, it's available on the website. You can see some stills of it, but we're really eager to show it off. I've seen it once or twice. It is very pretty.
It is very, very cool.
So, cool. Oh, and then the last thing, I think we already showed it earlier, but I do want to take that off and change to the cloak.
So if you want to know how to change what shows up on the back of your character, this is how you do it.
Quick little example. So actually, you'll see this is the Adventurer's Cloak, which you can then customize, I believe.
Yes.
Right. So again, another part of the Founders Pack.
So I will point out for the folks who get this before maybe the bug is fixed, it's currently bugged that you can't actually customize it.
Oh, sorry.
So it'll be there, but it will be customizable by launch.
Yeah. I was talking about launch. I was talking about the future.
It will definitely be customizable by launch.
Cool. I guess, how are we doing on time? I want to take some questions.
We are about at 3:45,
All right.
but I think we can hang around for another few minutes and take some more questions.
Yeah, definitely. So, ask away. Archeage running on low-spec computers. We actually are going to be working on...
I'm on a laptop.
Yeah.
I don't know if people can see here. I've got a laptop here.
Yeah.
That Archeage is actually running on.
It's running just fine. Again, we're going to be releasing min-specs. If we haven't already released them, then...
we are updating the min
Yeah.
specs because the original min specs were designed for when Archeage was running on CryEngine 2, and since it's actually running on CryEngine 3, they don't work anymore. So we are updating those and working with Excel to make sure that we are going to be telling you guys the right information.
Let's see.
Can non-patrons build boats? Yes, you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, somebody was asking a quick question about the changes with the new tiers going away. And so, just as a reminder, if you are on Alpha, you will be able to turn those new tiers in for silver. I believe it is about 20 silver per tier. So, that should give you a little bit of cash if you've been collecting new tiers. Reminder, if you want to buy something with new tiers, do it this week, and then you'll be fine. So once those new tiers go away, everything that you can buy currently for new tiers, I think pretty much everything, will be purchased as Scapes.
I'm the best driver.
Will be purchased with Gilded Stars or gold, depending on what it is. So in the future, you'll be able to do that. Gilded Stars will be available to players in a number of different ways. We are keeping the dailies that XL has currently, so that if you want to, you can. But we are also making sure that Gilded Stars are available between intercontinental trade routes. So if you go across the ocean, you have the option of getting either dyes that are used, or not really dyes, they're reagents that are used in crafting, or Gilded Stars, depending on what you're looking for. And while you're going through and doing the loyalty quests, so not the loyalty quests, the racial quests, sorry, brain, I mentioned I have a cold. The racial quests, you will be getting Gilded Stars as well. So we are working with Excel on tweaking those. They're actually putting them in for us, so we're still tweaking the exact which quests are going to get it and how else you can get them. And the goal is that you will be able to buy your boat or a house, your choice, by the time you hit level 30. Probably a little bit before that.
I definitely saw some good questions in there as well about a couple topics we already touched on. For the one fellow who was asking for, is this going to be available in writing, everything we said in this live stream? Actually, we already have a really good article. It's on the website already. Definitely check it out. You'll see it on the front page. There's some really good threads where they're talking about the different elements of what the change could mean, and definitely voice your opinion in there, and we'll hear it. I definitely wanted to touch on this one about how we actually define Daru chests compared to the chests we showed off.
So the chests we showed off are specifically for patrons. We are also going to be having additional chests that are available through the marketplace for folks who either purchased credits or gotten credits through an Apex. And those chests will have different things in them. We haven't finalized exactly what are going to be in those, and so that's why they're different. And that's why I'm not telling you what's in them, because we haven't finalized it.
Right.
For folks who don't know, the Daru, you're not near.
I kind of drove away from the city, but I might be.
Daru,
I might be
are
actually.
you?
I might be able to
there's Lucius.
find one.
You just need to find a world gate.
Let's turn the UI back on then.
So the Daru are the little blue guys
Daru.
that are the auctioneers at every one of the world gates. They're also your bankers. So whenever you go there, they are the guys that
NPC, I'm sorry.
collision happens. We'll point out.
I'm sorry, NPC.
So the Daru are the little blue guys that basically govern a lot of the commerce in the game. So that's where the name comes from. So quickly, I'm going to answer some questions while Evan here is trying to find one of the Daru.
I do apologize to the person who asked, how the hell do I have a license? I don't know.
And driving one of these cars in game is significantly harder than driving a real car.
This is not GTA.
Someone asked about the EU servers for beta, and those are on track and will be up and running by the time we go to beta. They're almost there. So those will be there and will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give you a specific day next week for Omega? So I will tell you that it's not going to be Friday. We want to have it up before we have that, and to make sure that that is in place. It won't be Monday, it won't be Friday, somewhere in the middle there. We will, as soon as we know, we will let you know. That narrows it down a little bit, but only by 3 days.
Yeah.
Only by 2 days. I've seen this person ask you this question a number of times. Will pirates be able to participate in the Halcyona War? That war has control points that are specifically controlled by the different factions. So you can participate in that. You can happily go and kill people. And but because you're not one of the other factions, you can't actually help with the control points. Other than, of course, just deciding to be a mercenary and kill anybody of the wrong faction that shows up. Totally up to you how you want to do that.
I did see somebody asking about the price of patron. So essentially, if anyone's already familiar with how we are handling our patron program in Rift, we'll see very similar pricing.
Yep. The exact pricing may adjust a little bit, but it'll be around the same range.
There, I found one.
Yay, there's a Daru.
So, gonna not run him over.
Don't run him over.
There we go.
So there are the Daru. So if you want to know why things are called Daru, it's after these little guys that are pretty central. Pretty central to the actual commerce in the game, as far as in-game lore goes. Mm-hmm. Of course, patrons are really the most central to it, because you guys are the ones that are actually making the economy happen.
Yep.
Which is very cool.
I'm gonna try not to run him over. There we go. Okay. Let's see.
Somebody asked about the red dragon kill, and I actually need to double check that because the items that are used to trigger the red dragon have actually changed with 1.2. And I am not certain if those items are in our build or if they're coming in a later build. I will have to check on that. Also, somebody asked really quickly if you can adjust the UI. You can move your UI around.
Yeah. Absolutely. So like this guy is kind of in the way a little bit, so I'm going to grab this edge and just drag him on down there.
So it's shift and mouse click. You can drag it around.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot drag the map, though. I wish.
But you can reduce.
But you can make
size.
it smaller.
And you can actually hide it entirely if you
Yep.
want. So you do have some options.
Somebody asked refined hereafter stones and what's happening with those. They are going away. Mm-hmm. If you have a bunch of them, you can turn them in for gold to a vendor. Oh, you got your headlights on. Nice.
Yeah.
But the way that it's changing is that, the refined hereafter stones are not going away. They're being converted into hereafter stones. I got that.
That sounded a little bit
that wrong item. And the instead, when you travel intercontinentally, it will take 3 hereafter stones, and if you are traveling within your own continent, it takes 1. So you only have to have 1 stack of stuff, which I very much appreciate because I keep running out of inventory space.
So, let's see.
Let's see.
Don't the disconnection.
So somebody asked what's the policy on macroing with hardware like the Razer keyboards and the Razer mice. So macroing is a bit challenging in Archeage. If you are at the keyboard and you are using the macros to help you play, or if you are a differently abled gamer and you need those macros to play, then that's one thing. But if you use those macros to attend to the computer and have the computer keep running while you're AFK, that is not encouraged. And as we are moving forward on our bot detection, you will likely be selected as a bot and kicked. So
don't do it.
Be at the computer.
Yeah. Basically, if you have to ask the question, is this giving me an unfair advantage?
Then probably yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I use a Razer mouse at home myself, but I generally use it because I usually have a drink in the other hand, and I'm playing with one hand, and I don't want to have to put my drink down to push the number keys.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It does. I saw one person asking, will Glyph be needed to download Archeage? Short answer is yes. If folks who are playing Archeage a bit earlier on may have noticed that we had a separate launcher, but moving forward we'll actually have Glyph being what launches Archeage.
Everything will be running through Glyph for Archeage.
Which is great because it'll have actually the feed of recent news. It'll have I believe we have server status in it as well.
Yep.
All sorts of things.
Yep. And one of the cool things about the Glyph launcher is as we move forward and credit packs and Patreon packs are available, they will be available through the Glyph client itself. You won't have to launch a separate website or anything. You can do everything right there.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Saw somebody asking about a classic topic, which is it used to be called 6040. Now we're calling it 8020.
It's
I'm going to end up in this cul-de-sac again. Go back.
Do that.
All right.
You know spacebar breaks, right?
I do know. Sorry, my car has brakes. Cars have brakes?
Cars have brakes.
Okay. But no, I saw somebody asking if we were aiming to try to do 100 and 0 for trade packs and when they turn in the division. Right now we are actually focusing on 80-20. Why? Because we want to make sure that we have enough time to see how it's actually going to play out on beta with a large number of people, and we'll base next decisions. Why is stop moving forward? Hey, brakes.
Because it has gears, and so if you leave it in a non-neutral gear, it's going to keep moving.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off there. Basically, we want to first test it at 80-20 fully, and then we'll continue to get your guys' feedback on it, what it implies for the game, what it implies for your gameplay, and go from there. Skills for the Glass Phoenix Glider. Long day. Is actually somersaults. Yeah. It won't show in the... I won't be able to show it because it's obviously not rendering, but I can definitely mouse over. That's not it.
That's not it.
There we go.
It hit.
Auto sort. It's on my back.
Oh, there you go.
It's not there. So you actually have somersaults, which look really cool. They get you out of the way of incoming fire, and you can somersault both directions. So if you have if you're like me and you're paying a lot more attention to the environment or that cool house down there, and you notice there's a big oak tree in front of you, you can somersault out of the way and not drop.
Yeah, because that never happens.
Not ever in 11 live streams.
It'll happen one day.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let's see. Other good questions that we're getting here. Again, we're seeing lots of them and just going by so quickly. I've already answered the question about render distance and view distance a few times, folks. Long and short is that we're aware that it's a concern. It's something we have communicated with Excel Games. Don't have a window for it being changed quite yet, though. Also, again, folks who are just joining now, maybe possibly just joining in for the giveaway, which we may be doing in a few moments. Two things. One, make sure you're following us, because otherwise it's more difficult to get a hold of you. Two, we talked about a couple of things already. We've talked about how patch notes will be available shortly before the build is live on Alpha. 1.2 is coming to Alpha, I want to say next week?
Next week.
Next week. Okay, I can't say next week. Great.
You can't say next week.
I forgot what we had said earlier in the live stream. Man, it's been that long. And then on top of that, we... basically, in those patch notes, we'll have more details on what's actually being added. We saw people asking about arenas, about skill changes, all that good stuff. And we'll definitely include everything that we can, because I'm very eager to have you guys discuss every element of patch 1.2. It's going to be an exciting time.
It'll be a lot of fun. We'll be talking about it a fair amount on the next few live streams to make sure that some of the features that are quite different we will go ahead and make sure we have time to talk that through with you guys.
Totally. I definitely saw another good one which I want to address, which was potential exploity behavior type stuff. We're paying a lot of attention to how people are using and misusing the items in Archeage. It's been very educational for us. One particular favorite of mine is, of course, the seductive rose.
Ah, yes.
Which,
well, that's changing.
And it is changing. So we'll no longer force a fine captain of a ship to suddenly bust out and dance and allow their ship to go and be taken by some unscrupulous player who is misusing the rose. So that is just an alpha thing and will not be persisting.
It shouldn't persist after next week.
Yes, ideally. Right.
Unless there's a bug.
Cool. Other things that are appearing?
There's so much. There's so much. You guys are so chatty. It's awesome.
No, I love it. And again, this is great because when you guys bring these questions to the forums, we actually go through, we see which ones we can address, which ones we need to actually ask questions on, because there's stuff that I don't know.
Yep.
All the time.
So I did see someone asking very quickly about the new races that have been talked about before. So guys, we're not going to get anything before Korea gets it. So the way that this works is that once XL Games has developed a feature, they give us the text, and we will go ahead and translate it into English, French, and German. They are creating the feature in their native tongue and in their native language, and then we get to take that and turn it into language that makes sense for English, French, and German. Mm-hmm. So it does take us a little while, and they are actually really, really conscientious about making sure that we get builds that work. Yeah. And they really don't want to give us stuff that is broken. So sometimes there's a little bit of a delay there, especially if there's an issue. You know, they launch it and then there's an issue. Some of that stuff may change. So there is going to be a delay between when items go to Korea and when they come to the West. But we are working diligently to try to make that as short as possible. Mm-hmm. But it is 3 languages. That's 3 more than anybody, or 2 more than. Two more than pretty much anybody else has to deal with.
As we phrased it in the announcement about a week ago, it is a challenge, and it's one that we have mutually stepped up to with XL Games,
yep.
And we're very excited about it.
Also saw a quick question on the hackers and what XL Games is doing about that.
Yeah, good question.
I can't tell you details because then hackers will know what we're doing, and that would be bad. So what I can tell you is that we are working with XL Games. They are diligently working on making changes to their systems that will help alleviate the issues with hacking. One of the fun and interesting things about localizing a game and bringing it to a different country, whether it's here or Russia or anywhere else, is that the different communities react differently. And the hackers hack different things and in different ways. So we're seeing hacks in Russia as well as in the West that you didn't see anywhere else. So XL Games is being absolutely fantastic and is reacting to those and making sure that we are getting all of the updates that will help alleviate the hacking. Mm-hmm. In addition, we're also doing our own reporting and our own efforts to make sure that we are catching those hackers and kicking them out as quickly as possible.
Going to go for a quick lightning round here. Beta, we have said that actually we're aiming for July now. Dyeing this costume, absolutely yes. Stealing cars and boats permanently, no. It's going to be temporary based on...
The car will despawn after a certain amount of time.
Yep. That was 3 questions in a breath. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see. I know that... I want to just keep answering questions, but we do.
I know there's a million questions. So keep asking the questions, guys, but please do it on our forums.
Yes.
Where we can actually see them and answer them, because I'm positive there are like 50 questions that we have completely missed because they scrolled by too quickly. So go ahead and go on to the forums and go ahead and answer them, or ask the questions, and we will do our best to answer them and make sure that you guys get the information that you're looking for.
Did see a good question actually related to, we were talking about macros earlier, which was multi-boxing. And I believe that the stance that we have is that if you're manually, you yourself, operating all of those keyboards with your fingers, legit.
Yep.
The minute that a virtual hand is added to the mix, not legit.
So if it's 5 computers and 5 keyboards, or a keyboard and a 5-way A/B switch, and you're actually controlling all of them, go for it. You're totally cool.
Yep. What else? I know I saw another. I keep seeing good ones like, no, I like that one.
I know, but
no,
it's
I
after
like that
4.
One. It is. Okay, we've gone really, really long, and we still have to do the giveaway. So again, make sure you guys are following us, and we will do a set 3 Did I really just...
You talked that long, yeah.
No, actually, it was more people actually are now using my own Twitter to ask questions. It's very inventive. But we that might be something we do next time. Is invite you guys to actually ask the Archeage Twitter. But
please, please post on the forums. Do not send us PMs. Our PM boxes are crammed full,
burgeoning,
and we will get to you way faster on the forums because there's a bunch of us that can read the forums, and we can only read our own PMs.
Yep. Alrighty. So,
all right, giveaway time.
Yeah, so we have Nightbot all queued up. We're going to go through and pick 3.
All right, here we go. Here's the first one.
There is Revoca. Ooh, I'm writing that down. Congratulations, Revoca. R-E.
Okay, you're in charge of writing it down.
All right.
Sweet. And giveaway number 2. And the winner is, oh, it doesn't follow.
Oh, we just asked you guys to follow.
All right, I'm going to give you like 10 seconds. If you're not following this chat, follow us. You cannot win if you don't follow.
By the way, as we say every single time, entering the command does not work. Entering me does not work.
Nope.
Grats is nice, but...
Yeah.
So, yeah. And again, just to clarify, these are alpha keys. We'll be issuing them through Twitch. Will basically get a hold of you, figure out your email, and see about getting you into the alpha as quickly as tonight, honestly, is really our usual
Depending on how
time.
quickly you answer our request
That's really it,
for your
yeah,
email.
honestly.
All right, here we go again. Make sure that you have followed. Did he do it?
I didn't see it. Oh, no, I did.
Oh, there it is.
Cool.
Following.
Joker. Jokester egg 1, 2, 3. Okay.
There you go.
There's something we can do.
And for the last one. I think I've missed it because I just saw Jokester again, so it must be somebody else.
I didn't see it in the chat. Same guy twice is at least
Same
one
guy
person.
twice doesn't count. All right. That's really weird.
Unusual.
All right, we're going to try it again.
An Uplifted Heart.
Aw, that's a very nice name.
And that is our 3rd.
All right, cool. So congratulations to the winners. You will be getting your alpha keys shortly. Just keep an eye out for a Twitch PM from us, from Tryon World.
Yep.
And I think that's it for today.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So it was a long one, but a good one. And we're really excited to be moving closer and closer.
I did want to point out one more thing. I just saw really quickly. So folks who have not gotten into alpha or who have not bought a Founders Pack, we are going to be doing beta key giveaways. And we will be announcing where those will be as we get closer to the time. So keep an eye out for those. That is another opportunity to get in and play Archeage.
Yeah. So
cool.
That's new, too. Again, you guys, if you got more questions, hit us on the forums. Definitely voice your opinion on what's going on, because we want to hear it, and so does XL Games. Beyond that, we cannot wait to give you guys patch notes for 1.2, give you 1.2 alpha, enter beta real soon. So it's going to be a really exciting time. We're really thrilled you guys are on this path with us. So until then, we will say ciao and have fun in Archeage. See you around.
Thanks, guys.